I start a lot of tracks, and sometimes I have a hard time finishing them. They sound good, but something about them just feels off. And after a while, I realized those are the tracks that stop feeling like mine. And when something doesn't feel like yours, it becomes really hard to finish it. You start doubting it, you change the sound, you change the melody, you add more layers. At some point, it became clear. I was not finishing my ideas, I was constantly redeciding them. So the problem was not really my ideas, but the way I work with them. And I came up with a few simple rules that help me write my music. It's nothing complicated, it's just a few things that help me stay with an idea a little longer. And today I want to try to write a track following those simple rules. One thing I noticed about myself is that I don't give ideas enough time. I am doubting them, and I'm trying to change things like melodies, the bass, the pads, the structure, add more layers. And for a moment, it feels like I'm doing the proper thing and I make the track better. But the more I change it, the further I get from the original idea. So now I try something else. Whenever I make a decision, I should keep it. I record a melody, I keep it. I choose a sound, I keep it. Not because it's perfect, but if I keep changing things, the idea never becomes itself. Ideas need a little time to grow into something. Sometimes I catch myself doing the following. I design a synth patch, I work on the filter, I change the envelope, I add some effects, maybe some modulation, and I'm just looking to get inspired by the sound itself. At first, it feels productive, but in 30 minutes, I realize I haven't written a single note of music yet. And yes, I have the sound, but there's no inspiration so far. And to be fair, sometimes that works, and a great sound can spark an idea, but much less often than I would like. So my personal solution is, while writing music, I just stick to the presets and samples, or I can take a very simple synth patch that I can tweak in a second or in a minute. And maybe I will tweak it a little bit later. Remember, the goal is not to have the best sound, but to have this very solid, great idea that can carry the track. And if the idea works, it will survive production later. If it doesn't, no amount of reverb will ever fix it. Another thing that I noticed is that every track needs just one center, this one idea that carries the music. For a long time, I tried to make everything interesting. Like the melody should be interesting, the bass should be interesting, and the sound design should be amazing and also interesting. Like every layer had to do something special. When everything is important, nothing really stands out. And the track just loses its center. When this happens, usually that's the moment when the track stops feeling like mine. I cannot see any connection between myself and the music because I really value this minimal approach with a good and solid big idea, just one real idea that carries the track forward, and everything else either supports or leaves. When one idea becomes clear, the track starts feeling alive and real. And this still happens sometimes. I would still write some music and it would sound good, but I cannot feel any connection with it. But in that case, if I just pause myself, if I stay with the original idea a little longer and not run away from it, again, I can feel myself in this music and the music feels like mine. Even if the track isn't the strongest one I've written, two things become clear. First, I know this music is actually mine. Second, at that point, I realized that it's not really hard to finish it. So finishing this track becomes a choice. Sometimes I finish it, sometimes I don't, and that's okay, because the idea already had the time to become something real. Finishing my music, my track, my song stops being a struggle. It becomes a choice.